Today I'm going to show you how to use MyDesigns to sell digital download bundles on Etsy. There's three things you're going to need for this process. Number one would be a MyDesigns account, which you can sign up to via the link in the description. Secondly, you will need an Etsy store. And if you already have a print-on-demand shop on Etsy, I would recommend opening a separate store for your digital downloads. If you do have to open a new store, you can do this via my referral link to get 40 free listing credits, which should help you get started. And the third thing you're going to need is some graphics to sell in this bundle. You can create these with AI or the traditional way with, say, Illustrator or Photoshop, for example. And I would recommend going for at least 10 files per bundle, but obviously the more, the better. So here we are inside of the MyDesigns dashboard. I'm in the listings section at the moment. I've created a folder for my bundle and actually uploaded just one singular file to this folder, not all of the files at once, because we're going to place all of the files within the same listing, because this is going to be one listing that we're selling and not multiple. Now, in this case, I've got a custom template configured, and you can do this over here in the templates section. This is what it looks like. I've got file 1 all the way to file 10, a few different mockup slots, a video mockup slot, and a zip file slot as well. You will want to copy this sort of layout, and you can do this by adding different file slots to your template. So if I wanted to add a new one, I could do mockup 6, for example, then hit add slot, and it will appear down here. You can move these around by just clicking on them and dragging. You can remove them with the X, and you can also rename any of these slots by clicking onto it and changing the name. Once you've got the same layout or the same slots, first of all, save it as a private template. That will be handy if you want to create more bundles in future. Then it will be saved down here at the bottom. When you click load templates, you will find it down there. And then once you're ready, you can hit save in the top right corner, and this will essentially apply the template to your current listings. Now, the next step is going to be clicking through these different file slots and uploading the rest of your graphics. So I'm just going to drag and drop the next dog image into here. You have to wait a few seconds while this says uploading until it changes to processing. Then you can move on to the next file slot and drag and drop your image. You do this until you've got your 10 files filled up, and then we're ready to move on to the next step. One quick thing to note here, if you've got more than 10 files for your bundle, still upload the first 10 or some of the best looking graphics for the mockups essentially into these 10 file slots, but then you will also want to add a zip file for your entire bundle. So if you've got 40, 50 or even hundreds of different digital downloads, then just upload the zip file into this file slot instead, because during the publishing process, I'll show you this later, you can either select multiple files like these 10 to sell, or you could select just the zip file on its own. It depends what's easier in your case. If you only have 10 files to sell, then you can go with these first 10 slots and you don't necessarily have to add a zip file. The next step is adding or creating some mockups to show customers what they're purchasing essentially. And I'm already adding one mockup right here that I created externally within Photoshop. This is going to be handy for you for the primary thumbnail. If you create an image that has multiple or all of your different graphics on the same image, and then sort of a title for the bundle to show customers how many graphics they're getting and what sort of topic the bundle is for. And this one you can't create inside of MyDesigns yet. I think the Canvas system is heading there where you can actually create these sorts of graphics inside of MyDesigns too, but at the moment you would still have to do it externally. And the other mockups we will generate inside of MyDesigns right now. So all you have to do for that is click on this button right here to select the listing, then head over to the mockups drop down, click on create image mockup. And now I'm going to select a variety of different, first of all, digital mockups and also different product mockups to give people an example of essentially what they could use these digital downloads for, right? They could print them on t-shirts, on mugs, on stickers, that sort of stuff. So let's start with a digital mockup right here. I'm going to choose this one with the mug. This is the color configuration I would recommend you copy. Just for reference, the first color up here is essentially what the product will look like, so the mug color. The second one down, black down here, that's going to be on this side, so this dark blue, and then the bottom color, secondary color, I've got a light gray for the light blue. Essentially, that's what it's going to replace on the left hand side. You've also got the input file slots, so if you want to change the image that's being placed on the mockup, you can do that with this drop down. Over here you can select which file slot this mockup will be saved into, so I'm just going to select mockup 2, and then I'm also going to enable the multiple mockups feature right here at the top. That way we can create or generate multiple mockups at the same time. So I'm now going to swap over to a different category, and let's do stickers next. I'm going to choose this stack of die cut stickers right here. Let's just quickly generate a preview for this one as well. And now I'm going to do wall art as well, or let's do clothing next actually. I'm going to use this sweatshirt mockup in this case. And one thing I've got to mention is you would ideally want to swap the input file slot for each of these mockups, so you show the customers different graphics within your bundle. So for this sweatshirt, I'm going to change this as well to one of the later dogs down here. Change the color to maybe a bit of a sandy one like so. Hit generate preview again. And lastly, I'm going to add a wall art mockup. And then once I'm done, or once you're done as well, you will want to click on generate mockups up here in the top right corner, and that will then create them and add them to your listing. So here we go. There you can see the different mockups I just created. There's the mug, the stack of stickers, the sweatshirt, and the wall art mockup as well. I think showing 3 posters at once is quite good as well. A different way to show off multiple designs within your bundle. And then the next step is creating a video mockup. So we can create a bit of a slideshow out of these mockups with MyDesigns. Make sure you have your listing selected. Head over to mockups again. Click on create video mockup this time, and then deselect everything besides your mockup images. So I'll have mockup 1 all the way to mockup 5 selected. You can also change the order of these, by the way, by just deselecting everything. And then let's say you wanted this image with the wall art to be first in the video. You can click on that first and then select the other ones in whichever order you desire. And then you can click submit, make sure it gets saved into the video mockup slot, and then hit submit down here. This will start processing in the queue. It takes a little bit longer because it is a video file that's being generated. But once that's done, you've got a nice addition to your listing, which will show upon customers hovering over your listing in search results. The next step is going to be filling in your listing data. I've already done this for my bundle right here. I've created a title. You can use this as inspiration if you want to, but also check on Etsy, see what other people are doing within your niche. Then the description has a few key points. It's a bit of a short one, but it gives you an idea of what to include. So I like to warn people that this is a digital product, not a physical thing that they're buying. That's quite helpful, by the way, because you do have mock-up images of like, sweatshirts, stickers and stuff like that, which might confuse some people. Then I usually give the customer idea of what file types they get, what sort of file dimensions, what different types of images are included, and then at the bottom just some instructions about what they will get once they purchase the file and the rules of how to use them as well. And the tags right here, relevant tags for this type of design or this type of bundle. Once again, do your own research depending on your niche and adjust the tags accordingly. Then the last thing you need to fill in is inventory and pricing. Over here, just put $9.99, which is a good starting price because you can offer a discount on the Etsy side to give customers quite a lot of money off. And the quantity I usually set to $9.99. And then once you've configured all of this, you'll want to click save in the top right corner for this to be saved to your listing. And then we're ready for publishing this bundle to Etsy. Now you want to make sure that you have your listing selected, then head over to the publish button in the top right corner and choose digital from the drop down. Then click on the left side, which says select files to sell. And here there's 2 different methods. So if you don't have a zip file, if you've uploaded, like 10 individual files to sell as a bundle, then just select those 10 files right here, and MyDesigns is going to zip them up and offer them in a PDF download for the customer. If you have a zip file with like tons and tons of graphics, then that's the only thing you will want to select. So just choose the zip file in that case and ignore the other file slots. Both methods work. It just depends how many files you have. And then we click on next step, where you can choose your shop and the category. If you have multiple shops, you can select the right one from the drop down. Next step is the mockup selector. So deselect the first file right here and then select all of the mockups that you've created in your listing. You can also choose the primary mockup, or change the primary mockup, I should say, with these buttons underneath each mockup. Even if you have, say, this one right here selected for the primary, the video mockup is still going to play upon customers hovering over your listing in search results. It doesn't have to be selected as the primary. There's also a function to add a watermark over these mockup images. So if you want to protect your graphics a little bit, you could add your shop name into this and you'll have a subtle text to sort of block people from copying them. And then you can click on next step to review the data, click next again in the bottom right. And this is where you can hit publish to have this uploaded to your Etsy store into the drafts section, where you can then hit publish. If you want to see my step-by-step process for selling print-on-demand products through MyDesigns, make sure to check out this video next.